Hello everyone and welcome to another car profile where, if you haven't guessed it already, we are looking at the BMW M6 Endurance model. So this is a turbocharged 4.4 litre V8 engine, front engine rear wheel drive, so it's in the front of the car if you hadn't already guessed by that, and it has 6 gears as well. You're going to see a lot of clips of the Nürburgring in the background because that is where Kazunori Yamauchi drove this car. Yes, it's a real car driven by the creator of this Gran Turismo series, the game we play and we do love. There is also a GT Academy graduate who's raced the M6 GT3 car, and that is Jordan Tresson, the 2010 winner. So it's participated since 2016 in terms of GT3 racing. It raced very well, replaced the Z4, and has since been replaced by the M4 GT3 car. It's a great handling car in Gran Turismo, it really is. And when I did beat the meta, it was also fantastic on its tyres as well, or I've seen that in many races. Without further ado then, we're going to jump into this car profile and have a look at this car in a bit more detail and see how good it actually is as we head towards Laguna Seca then. If you're new to car profiles, we look at a low speed test, a medium speed test, and a high speed test. How is that defined? It's defined by Gran Turismo in terms of their balance of performance and how they put the cars in terms of the bop they use, low, medium, and high speed. Laguna Seca is a low speed circuit, and that's what we're doing. We're going to compare to our fastest lap to date here, and that's against the Audi R8, and we're already a tenth down there to that R8 LMS Evo 19 car there that you can see down the bottom right hand side. Now with this BMW, one of the first things I would say with it is it does suffer a little bit from power oversteer. But that power oversteer also helps in handling. How does it work like that? Well, as we get up towards this kink, I just want to explain the kink. This kink is awesome in this car. You can just fly through it, no real issues, and really extend the circuit there. Let's head towards the corkscrew then, where I'll talk about this power oversteer. Coming into here, we saw the car down nicely. We have to short shift to third there because in second, the wheels just spin up. Same in third a little bit, but not quite as much because the downforce starts to play. Significantly here, we're purple there on the Audi R8 there. 22 thousandths up there, so we're looking quite strong here as we head towards the end of the lap. I will say it's because of that corkscrew, though, that we are doing so well. That was one of the best corkscrews I've ever done in Gran Turismo 7 right now. We leave that last corner then, we head towards the line, and what sort of time is it going to be then? We're looking to beat a 1:21.291, we get a 1:21.6. Now what we actually do is we actually compare the optimum sectors rather than the fastest lap. We do a race against the fastest lap, but it's optimums that count because it's easier to get 10 optimum sectors, and that's what we're going to do, and we're going to compare them in a nice little leaderboard if you are new to this channel and series. And as you can see there, the BMW M6 is just behind the Audi R8 LMS Evo there, with a 1:21.3 being the optimum, but it is ahead of that Toyota Supra, which we know is very competitive indeed. But this car, we're going to talk about that oversteer a little bit more. But we're done here with Laguna Seca. We're going to head now to Suzuka, which is our medium speed bop test. And a circuit I actually really like and love. And where the bop has been currently done, by the way. I must say that. So as we come into here then, second gear then, and we short shift to third again. It's very good in this third gear. That turbo obviously helps there a lot as well. And as we continue on out of there. So with this power oversteer, and it happens in third gear as well, as you accelerate, the rear just slips out a little bit. But it's enough where it catches itself and the downforce sticks the car. And that means you get a bit of extra rotation for free. So it handles a bit like an MR car. Going through here, we're already nearly a 10th up down the Toyota Supra, which has the fastest lap here at Suzuka. So this is looking very good indeed already, the fact that we are ahead of this Toyota Supra. Head towards Tidgney 1. I did suffer a little bit with the bounce of the curb there. I did have to monitor it there as we nearly go off there. That was very close indeed as we go through Tidgney 2. And again, that short shift really helping us out. Second gear, not really helpful. We're 2 thousandths up there. The Supra comes back at us there. So close in terms of sector times. As we come through here, we go to that second gear. Low down in the revs there, not too bad. When you get to the high part of the revs, that's where the wheels spin up. And there, we're in a straight line, so it doesn't matter if the wheels spin up a little bit there. Rear can plant the car then, and in third gear, we fly off. Head towards Spoon then, we're going to hit the brakes, and coming into Spoon, again, we're going to see the handling of this car. It handles so nicely, this car. I can't explain how nice this car handles. Look at it, it turns in, beautiful on exit, no real dramas then as we leave that corner, and we head up to the next split here, Sector 3. 4 sectors here at Suzuka, and we're about to approach the third one. Let's see where we are in terms of this Supra then as we cross the line. 59 thousandths off there, so close indeed as we go through 130R. Flying through there, I might add. 147 miles an hour. That is a big speed to carry there with a full fuel load as we're carrying here, or 3/4 at this point in time. as we go through here. We'll talk about fuel and tyres on the next test, of course. We'll leave the final chicane there. We're going to head towards the line then. And what's it going to be here then? So 159.182. We're just about 2/10 off there, the Supra. So not quite getting the fastest lap there. But once again, we do look at optimum times. And that's what we're going to do in a second when that table appears. Where is it going to sit then? It's top. It's the first car into the 58s, and the BMW M6 GT3 beats the Toyota Supra. And I've got to say, it was Sector 1 where it dominated the Supra in reality in terms of optimums. It was down in the 0.4s in the end, and that's where all the handling cars are in MR. This car is beautiful at handling. It handles so good. Let's head to our high-speed test then, which is Bathurst. Okay, so Bathurst is a complex circuit. Obviously, we've got 2 long straights there, but we've got a big handling section in the middle as well. So continue on out of here then. This was literally the best turn one I did all test that I did here. Once again, we're racing a Toyota Supra. It does have the fastest lap here at Bathurst as we head towards the end of Sector 1 then. And we are 11 thousandths up then on that Toyota Supra. This is interesting. So in terms of why do we do the tyres and fuel, and I do put some FAQs in the description if you want to read into it a bit more, and when I've done the website, it will be on there as well. As we head up towards this left-hander, I just want to point this out before I carry on with tyres and fuel. Coming into this left-hander, FR cars also for here with a bit of power oversteer, and I did there as well. You want to see how good the handling this car is? Watch this. Coming into here, we don't lift, and we maintain that speed. Not many cars can do that. I will tell you that right now. It is flying right now. So we do tyre wear and fuel because that's what Bop is done on now. If you think about race A in the daily races, times 1 tyre, times 1 fuel. It's how the cars are tested and how the cars are predicted to run, and that's why we do the tests in the same way. We're 54 thousandths down on the Supra. Super Beetles there. I think that's more to do with speed more than anything, because handling-wise, this car is unbelievable right now as we head down the mountain then. The dipper was a bit iffy, to be honest with you, in this car. Nailed it on this lap then as we go into the left. Now, this corner I really should have done in 3rd gear. You see a bit of a slip there of that rear end. That 2nd gear power oversteer showing itself once again then. Let's see what we're like as we head towards this line then. A 132.831. I also want to say, in the last car profile I did, those sector times were slightly wrong that we were comparing against there, and that was the Audi R8 LMS Evo video. These are the right sector times now, so apologies for that little editing error there. Coming into here then, we don't make 170 miles an hour, so it's definitely not there in terms of speed, this car. And one thing I will be doing in the future is showing those top speeds in a chart for you so you can see that. And we're going to be using the chase and also the oval then. We're heading towards the final corner. We're looking for a 201.894 there as we leave that corner. That was a very nice exit there as we head towards the line then. 201.894, the only car in the 201s. No, it's not. It's the second car now in there. It beats the Supra on the highest speed test. This is a shock to me, okay? This is an absolute shock. I did not expect it to beat it here, okay? Because it's not good on top speed. Let's have a look at the Optimums then. You can see there, the Toyota Supra. That top speed then worked out on the straight for the Supra, and Optimums, it is ahead. But how the BMW did it is, I don't know. It was so good on the mountain, so good. I can't even explain how good it was. And you saw that there. But they're unbelievable stuff there. And, you know, coming into the last corners as well, it's very good on the brakes. Maybe that helped in essence. I'm not too sure. We go to the fuel test now for the BMW M6. So in the top left, we've got maximum RPM. That means when the bar gets to the end of the bar. We then have a quarter shift then, okay, because that's the best way to save fuel. And then we have a fuel map plus quarter shift, because you only use fuel map if you're really desperate, because it's the worst way to save fuel in Gran Turismo. Now, what we do here is we have a look at how the car saves against itself and also against other cars, and just show a bit of performance there as well. We get to the line there, and we've got 25.2 there on the left-hand side there, 55%. So we know revving the car is the fastest based on this test as well, which is always good to know. You know where the power is in the car. Quarter shift's not far behind, though, to be fair. So we'll have to have a look at how much fuel is saved there, because that's 5%, and it's not much difference, to be honest with you. Not much difference. 5%, though, is not a lot saved. Remember, this is on times 50 as well. Oh, I think it's on times 50. I'll have to double check that, but it's on a significant fuel wear usage there, sorry. Going to go to the bottom screen then, quarter and fuel map there, and obviously it's the worst way to save fuel, especially in a car that has less power than the power cars. Fuel map significantly impacts engine power, and if you lose that power, it's going to just cause you massive issues in the GT3 class. So we can see that there. Now we're going to go into a plethora of tables now. These are actually going to change in the next car profile, but do bear with me here. So in terms of the times, it's 10th there in terms of time. So it's not there in performance. You see in fuel saving, it's not really there either, to be honest with you. I have redone 2 cars here, the Ford GT LM race car and the Audi R8 LMS, the 15 car as well. And you can see that there. So that's actually moved on the board. Quarter shift then, you can see that it's not too bad in terms of that side of it. We know that because of the turbos, of course, and short shifting does help this car. It saves 5% fuel there, and you can see that, which is not too bad. And then in fuel map, it drops down the leaderboard again. A lot to take in there, I know, but what we're saying here is the quarter shift works very well in the BMW M6. It doesn't save a lot, but it does save some and doesn't suffer from performance losses there as well. And you can see that here, this is the whole point of this performance fuel test there. So a quarter shift only loses 0.2 of a second to its time, not the Corvettes there. And you can see it saves, it saves 5%, it's 60, it's around where everybody else is. Fuel map 3 though, it's ahead of some cars, but it is below quite a few as well in terms of performance. And it doesn't actually save that much as there as well. You see some cars are in the 70s. In terms of fuel level, again, I said it's not that good, and you can see that here. Look at that, it's down in P9 at the moment. It doesn't save that much fuel, even though you are trying to fuel save. You can see that there, that's the turbos, they're just efficient. So, you know, when you're going flat out, it's not that much difference. And again, you can see there, P19 only saves 5 fuel. It's one of the lowest cars in terms of how much it actually saves in terms of fuel saving. And that's just because it's so fuel efficient when it's going fuel map 1. We should hopefully see that on the next page, potentially. There we go, there you see. So it's actually ahead of a lot of cars there, but not ahead of everyone there as well. You've got to keep that in mind. But that is everything in terms of fuel. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, there'll be more updates coming soon in terms of that fuel test. So we've done the fuel test. There's one test we still have to do, and it's the tyre test. I do actually want to go into a bit more depth with this tyre test. So what we do on times 50, we're at Daytona Oval, and we're just going to go flat out round the oval on the inside line until the first tyre wears out. I'm doing a second test at the moment where 2 tyres wear out. I did try the 3 tyre test, but it doesn't really work out very well. You just have the opposite problem. So we've got to compare FR cars versus FR cars and MR cars versus MR cars. Now, I did say at the start of this car profile, this car is known for its tyre savings. This is actually a really good test for it to see if this tyre test actually works, if I'm honest. Now, there are going to be significant factors because there's no other way to really do a tyre test because user inputs have a factor. If you lock up in any way or brake too hard in places, you've got circuit type, user error. There's so much you can do in terms of having issues doing a tyre test that it becomes a significant problem. Okay, so this is the only fair test, and it's a loose test in terms of testing that tyre saving. You see here, we've finished out lap number 3 there for the first tyre to go. That right rear tyre, that is the first tyre to go. And what we do is we add up lap 1, which is the out lap, lap 2, and then lap 3, if we do make lap 3 there, and you can see those times there. So we add them up into a nice total time, and that tells us how long the tyre lasted before it went to 0%. And that's the idea of this tyre test. Again, if you can think of a better tyre test, do let me know, but it's got to involve minimal user error input. However, look at that tyre test. It's top. It's the best there. It beats its predecessor, the Z4 GT3. It's top. And we knew it was good at tyre saving, and it's there. So this shows that the test, at least in some aspect, does work fairly well. Overall summary of lap times then, it comes home in P2, just behind a Toyota Supra, which is significant. So it's not the fastest car overall in a straight line, but the handling of this car is unbelievable. It's okay in terms of short shifting. We know that from the fuel test we did, and tyre saving is unbelievable. This car is a meta car, and a car I recommend you try out because this car is a beautiful drive. Just be careful of that power oversteer, and that's it. Did you like this video? Please do like it. Subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest car profiles. I do love making these. There's a lot of effort that goes into it. You've seen all the graphics we use, and I do appreciate all the support. There are 2 videos there to check out, including the last the Beat the Meta that I did in the BMW M6. And we've also got the last car profile we did, which is with the Audi R8 LMS Evo. A big thank you for watching once again, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.